Welcome to the bright side of the moon, a journey of magic and wonder, and most of all, beauty.
Chapter 11. Kate Bush, Man with the Child in His Eyes, 1973 to 1975. Living with a musician and loving a musician was such an adventure. Creativity surrounded me on many levels, which encouraged my own artistic development. I was a witness to David's music as it was given birth, plus his support for other musicians. Music was all around me some days 24/7. It wasn't just listening to a record or the radio. It was in the air I breathed. My dreams were escalating from dreams of a young woman to the life of a woman, a creative woman. It no longer was I was existing, yearning for love and creativity. It was my life. I started to create sculptures. They were tiny at first, little pink risen roses for Christmas presents. Watercolors and clay forms fired in Judy Waters' kiln in London. Between touring and working with Roland Petit, David had converted one of the outbuildings into his studio. This enabled him to do more work as he no longer was inside the house with less equipment. The band was having some time off, and both Nick Mason and David were open to taking on various projects. One day, David met up with Rick Hopper and brought home a cassette of songs from a young singer-songwriter, Kate Bush. She was just 15 and still in school. Her music inspired him to do a demo initially recorded at Woodley in his new studio. He was helping Unicorn as well to get kick-started and enlisted two of the musicians to help in the recording of Kate's songs. David had such heart and drive to not only develop his career, but also to use his talent for others. Kate would arrive, still in her school uniform, and they would record her songs. She and I grew to be great friends. We used to sit by the fish pond in the front garden, which had a large willow tree. We'd often sit and chat. I felt like her big sister, and David was like her uncle, ensuring her safety. We all did. Just before David and I were to marry, as I reflect upon our life events, David helped Kate further. While the Floyd were recording Wish You Were Here in 1975, he presented a more finished demo of Kate's to Bob Mercer, the managing director of EMI, who then signed her to EMI Records. Her passion and talent was born, and time passed as we watched it create a star. Many years had passed, and Kate and I would meet again. but under different circumstances. In the 90s, I worked with a colour healer called Lily Conford in Willesden, London. Lily was like our fairy godmother, grey-haired, full of heart, love, everyone. Inspired us to love as well and to be well. After one of our healing sessions, I walked into the waiting room, and there was Kate waiting for Lily. I didn't know that they were friends, but they were. You know, fairy godmothers do get around. Anyway, she apparently wrote a song for Lily, and she was dropping it off. You'll find it on her album Red Shoes. And I must say, every day at lunchtime when Lily was upstairs, we could hear the song drifting down the staircase. Of music, songs, of tragedy and love and beauty. Thank you.